Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Global One webinar. This is a simulcast call. We are, in fact, recording live. We've got a brief PowerPoint that'll go along with a two-part call that is going to be underway here. At the outset of the call, I'm going to introduce Scotty Evans to the call. He is our CEO of Global One. He'll give you a very quick update on the status of the company, where we are, where we're going. And then Scotty will go ahead and pass the call over to Kathy. So, folks, don't forget we do have a replay link that's readily available at the conclusion of every call. Don't want to take any time away from you, Scotty, so come on to the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, Scotty Evans.
Hi, all. How you doing? Been a little time since I've been on. I'm happy to be back on here. Hello to everyone around the world. I understand we have really large numbers on the web and on the call-in line as well. I want to take a couple minutes to basically update everybody from the corporate side of things. We're just about there, everyone. We're just about there. It's really important to recognize that we are orchestrating one of the largest single company launches of its kind that we know of. This is massive, and it's because each and every one of you has shared Global One with friends, associates, and so forth over the past couple of months. Our website right now is the 650th most visited website in the world. I can't imagine where this is going to go as we move forward in the coming weeks and months and even years as we really unleash this business and all these great revolutionary products we have that are going to take us into the next months and years, as I mentioned. The wealth centers are going to just blow people away to be able to bring in a lot more members, a lot more customers, obviously a lot of commissions to be made. As we move into phase two, the magnitude of this is just unprecedented. You want it done correctly. It must be done flawlessly. Even if it adds a few days, as we have, I know we wanted to get going a few days, about a week or so ago. You want it done right for us to move forward. Keep in mind, as we move to phase two, the commissions are paid right away. You're not going to have to wait a week or 2 weeks or a month or anything of that nature. We pay commissions quickly. We pay them right up front. So right when we kick this off here in the coming days, you're going to get your commissions right away. And that's going to be a huge, huge, huge step, and we're looking forward to that day. We don't have a set date of this time, but it is days away. We are not too far off from that. We're all just as anxious as you guys to get moving forward, believe me. And always keep in mind that this is a business for the long haul. You want it done right. You want everything there. You want it solid. Again, the size that we're doing this has just never been seen before. And then also, the first earnings and commissions that are just days away as we move into phase two, and the amount of dollars that are going to be paid out. We're already, running our projections on that, and they're just staggering. There's going to be a lot of people having some very, very Merry Christmases this year. It's obviously common for companies to grow one customer at a time, one member at a time, and so forth, especially in referral marketing, things of that nature. Most companies never even get to a few thousand people. Some get lucky and get into the tens of thousands of people, and so forth. Here at Global One, we have a monumental task on our hands. We don't have this luxury of just growing 1, 2, 3 people at a time. When we move into phase two, there will be several hundreds of thousands of members and customers coming on at one time, going live. It's a massive undertaking. Also, the amount of immediate compensation that will be paid out is just mind-staggering. This is a very big business with very important world-changing products, and it needs to be done correctly from day one. So we're a little behind. We realize that. That's why I wanted to come on, take the time to tell you we're right there. We are close, and I do not have a reputation for stringing people along. I call it like it is, and that's what people appreciate over my business career. We're very, very close, people, very close. Again, this has to be done correctly. This is, again, I use the word monumental because it is. We were trying to find any other companies that have done this big and will be doing this big a business as quickly, turning it on from one day to the next. We have a very complex global banking system to consider. Every country around the world operates a different fashion in a different way in the global banking sense. We have credit cards, debit cards, you have wire transfers, you have ACH, we have cash methods, hundreds and hundreds of different ways to pay cash into the system. It is a huge undertaking, and we're looking great with all of that. The complexities of that are just unbelievable. We have a global computer network that would run entire countries. As a matter of fact, I know a few countries that would love to have our network system. It is massive. The amount of data that goes through this is in the terabytes of information, billions of transactions happening per second. It has to all work in sync with everything that we're doing. The complexity of our talented team, the programmers that put this all together, is just amazing. The combined hours of programming are in the tens of thousands of hours. We don't even know the total number because so many people have been working so hard to get this to where it is now. These are the things that on the day-to-day basis, everybody gets anxious, everybody gets excited, but really wanted you to get a feel for just how big this is. There just isn't anything to compare it to that's happened. Companies have grown into the hundreds of thousands and into the millions of people, but they've done it over many, many, many months. Even years it's taken them. We're turning up hundreds of thousands of people from one second to the next. It has to be a very strategic planning on this. Then obviously there's our groundbreaking products. These are products that will be available to you that are 10-plus years in the making on some of this stuff. Matter of fact, some of our products are 20-plus years to get them where they are. You guys are the first in the world to have them exclusives, and there's more stuff coming we haven't even announced over the coming months and into the years. This is long-term business. Don't let a few weeks or a few days in this early stage frustrate you or what have you. We're right there, very, very close. It's going to be great going into the holiday seasons here and really be able to crank this thing up going into the new year. So we're very, very excited about that. Again, you just want this done right. I know I've said it multiple times in this call. You want it done right. It just has to be done right on this size of the scale of this. It's simply unprecedented, and it must be coordinated at all levels of business perfectly. Always keep in mind that Global One is doing it right for years to come. A couple of days here in the early stages being added pale to the wealth that will be created for so many of you over these coming months. So bear with us just a little bit longer. We're right there, and I'm hoping on next call we'll be able to give you a very tight timeline within days on the next call for Thursday. So definitely be ready on that call because I think we're about to that point where we can give you a definite timeline, and it won't be far off from that Thursday. Staying on the topic but changing gears just a tad, I want to take a minute about how the building will be done when we go into Phase 2. There will be a lot of people have put money in through ACH, credit cards, wire, all that type of stuff, and have had it in for a week or 2 or 3 or 4. And we want to make sure that everybody understands that nobody, even though if you got your money in or if you've been billed on a credit card, you will not be rebilled. The date starts the day we start. So whatever day we choose to go live here in the next few days, that will be the first date. You will not be billed again. You're already in the system. All new people come in from that point on. Your card will then, or however you paid, your payment system, your e-wallet will be dinged or what have you 30 days later. So it's an entire month. You won't be hit for the next month on your product sales for your product sales for another month. So don't worry about that. There isn't any extra charges or anything of that nature. And I just wanted to clarify that with everybody. But also remember that commissions start right away. When we turn this on, your commissions are going to be seen in days. It's not going to take weeks or months for you to see your commissions. They're going to be paid right away. And there's a lot of people that have really, really impressive downlines. They're going to have some really fun paydays, and we're looking forward to being able to talk about those in the coming weeks. So there's some numbers that are going to be very motivational for people. Again, we're right around the corner. We're right there. So bear with us just a few more days here, but we really appreciate everyone's excitement, and we understand the frustration too. We're excited here, and we're frustrated that we didn't hit our deadline. That's what we pride ourselves on, is making deadlines. We didn't do it. We apologize. We're here now. We're very close, and that's what I can say with confidence. So on Thursday's call, make sure that you are there or are able to at least listen to the recording afterwards. So from all of us here at Global One, that's in a nutshell. We're right there. I'm going to pass this call on to Kathy for the second part of the call, and we all thank you for making Global One as huge as it is and we can't wait to move forward in the coming weeks, months, and into next year, where we're just doing amazing things as a collective group. So I appreciate everyone, and Kathy, the mic is yours.
Hey, Scott, thank you so much for that great overview. I got to tell you guys, there's never been a person that I would rather stand side by side than this man. And so where do we go from here? And what did I hear? The thing that Global One is doing, guys, they're launching a larger company than most people have seen. When you look at having businesses all over the world and you count the countries that we're in, that builds a level of complexity for a company like you've never imagined. I don't know how many of you guys have tried to transfer money, wire money. I don't know what you've tried to do, but there's complexity when you're as big as Global One. What I want to do is just kind of take you back in time, and I want to tell you a story of mine, because I've been here, guys. I've been at this pivotal moment. And if there's any reason why I'm on this phone call, it's because I've actually been here before, and I missed it. So let me tell you my story. Most people don't know exactly who I am or where I come from, and I'm going to tell you this story in detail. It was a story that emerged in the early 2000s in the mortgages. Somebody turned on a network marketing business saying that we could sell mortgages. And I jumped right in because I'd never seen a commission like it. I mean, to tell you the truth, I flew to Vegas, I spent my money, I brought my team. Much of like what you guys have done here. And I heard somebody's story, and I saw somebody's PowerPoint, and I saw, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, they're going to do this. And then I ran with that story, and I built an incredibly large team. I had over $20 million in the tank for a mortgage. You guys can imagine, if you know anything about the mortgage industry, the type of commission check I had pending. But that's when things started to unravel, because, guys, they didn't have their act together. They really did not have their act together. They didn't have the processing centers. They didn't have this. They didn't have that. But I had the unique opportunity to work direct with one of the top people in the company. So I was there working with the top person in the company. But, guys, my attitude back then isn't what it is now. I didn't know back then what I do now. All I could see back then was my mortgages were not getting processed. My commission checks were not getting paid. They weren't set up the way they said that they were going to be set up. They couldn't even process anything but an A loan. I don't know out of the country if you guys know what that means, but we've got like bad credit, mid credit, and good credit. They could only process excellent credit. And most of you guys know, way back when in the early 2000s, there wasn't a lot of that. And so they just failed on every single avenue. And I went in to the downtown office. I actually got around, my major leader, and I got to see the inward working. And I went, oh, this is bad, this is all bad. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. My friend, who is still my friend, I learned the biggest lesson of my life, because my friend told me, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. He went on to build distribution centers around the U.S., processing centers around the U.S., and my friends went on to make $150,000, $200,000 to $250,000 a month. That company went on to make $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 billion a month, and I was there at the beginning. Now, you guys know me well. Am I promising you that Global One will do that? Nobody knows the future. But what I do know right now is you have the leadership in place. You have the compensation plan in place. You have the Alexa ratings in place. Plus, you have the products that are going to be rolled out. I'm telling you, what do you have to lose? Stay the course. Stay optimistic. Stay positive. Don't do what I did 12 years ago. I left. I said, see you later, and I'm still friends with them today because, they stuck with me, but nonetheless, I watched them in the penthouse and me in the basement. Okay, guys? So don't do that. So what we need to do right now is we need to focus on the main thing. You need to stay the course. You don't have anything to lose, you guys. Nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. You have everything to gain by just staying positive, just keeping the faith, moving forward, and just doing the things that you know you're supposed to do. So what are the main things? What do you need to know? And more importantly, what should you do now? Focus on this. Just keep the course. Keep down the negative talk. Don't talk smack talk to your team. Don't talk about all the things that are wrong. Talk about all the things that are right. Trust me, guys, with this one. If you do this, I do believe that this thing is going to work out. It's going to work out in a major way. The products are really going to revolutionize the industry. I've had an opportunity to kind of get into that secret box of products, and I know somewhat, not everything. I'm not really on that true inside, but a little bit of the inside. I've been able to see some of the products that they're going to roll out. And guys, in terms of network marketing or world distribution, they're hot products. You won't have a hard time moving the product. And then once they turn on commissions are going to be paid regular and on time. So let's take a look at that. What do people need to know? Okay, so they need to know what the paydays of the month are. So you focus on this calendar and you write down these dates because these dates never move. Okay, they never move. And they pay at the exact time. It's usually about close to 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So the exact time, the exact days, they don't move. So you guys don't have to wonder about, what's payday, when do I get paid? This will be up in the back office. These are the slides that we're missing, but now we're going through them. So if you write those dates down, you don't really have to, guys, because you can log into your back office. This PowerPoint will be up within just a few minutes, but these are the paydays. Now, active and not active. This is something you're going to have to deal with all the time. It's not just right now. It's really not. You're going to have people that get in and get out. They're going to start. They're going to quit. And so this is part of the compensation plan that you actually really need to pay attention to because this is really kind of fixed in granite. So pay attention. This is an example of how the compensation plan is programmed to pay. Guys, I did say the compensation plan is programmed to pay, so that's what I mean. The programmers actually have this compensation plan ready to pay. It's not in the building phase. It's in the finished phase. It's also in the tested phase. So it's ready to go, guys. So if it starts on the 1st, you count 2, 3, 4, 3 days. They're going to take a snapshot of the commissions that are due and payable to you. They're going to take it back to 0, and they're going to count 5, 6, 7, 3 more days, and it's going to be a payday. That's the cycle of paying every 3 days, 10 times a month that you've seen on the website. I'm not going to go through the compensation plan right now because you have a tremendous amount of leaders that actually do that on a daily, weekly basis. But this is a snapshot of what active means. Come the 4th of whatever month, if it starts paying on the 1st, it's going to take a snapshot. What a snapshot means, you guys, is that the database is programmed to actually take a worm throughout the entire membership looking for a signal to signal that they're active. And active means $10 to $100. It's the membership. It's either tin or platinum all the way through the members. It's looking for that. It's been programmed for that. So when we say taking a snapshot, it's actually looking for who's active. Okay, so then the next slide is this, not active. The same thing happens, only on the fourth, when it goes through and it worms through the database, it comes to a person that has not activated their membership, so it shoots it off as not active. And so that goes into the not active pool, and when it comes to the seventh, it doesn't pay a paycheck. So how commissions are tracked, there's this sad face, and there's this woman crying at the computer, but this is also good news, too, if you're active. You have a database, and you have a back office that's very sophisticated, guys. When you actually get to see it, and I know you guys really want to see it, and you wanted to see it last week, I feel ya. When you actually get to see it, you're going to be able to click on any month, you're going to be able to click on the day, and you're going to be able to drill, you're going to be able to dig down and see what commissions were paid on that particular day. And for those of you that are not active, you will actually be able to see the commissions that you lost. That's the bad news, okay? So, unless, of course, you activate. So this system is incredibly graceful. In other words, what I have said since I have come on these calls, the company has your back. The system is graceful. It really is. If you look at this slide, you go 1, 2, 3, then you decide to activate. What might happen? Somebody might have called you. You might have looked into your back office. You might have gotten an email. Somebody might have sent out a Skype red alert, like, gotta look, get activated. You have 5,000 people underneath you. So you activate on the 3rd. Well, what the computer is doing on the 4th is it's actually looking for people that are active. So when it goes through the database, it's going to come to you, and it's going to see that you're active. So when it comes to the 7th, you're going to get a paycheck. That's a great thing, you guys. I don't know how many of you know about compensation plans and the ins and outs of comp plans, but that's actually a great thing. So when you look at this, you can activate on the 3rd, have it take a snapshot on the 4th, and get paid on the 7th. Very cool. So this deals with how do you become inactive. There's a lot of people in the database currently because it was a free sign-up that they're in the database. They don't know that they're in the database. They're in the database. They know that they're in the database, but they haven't checked back since June. There's just a lot of people in the database, probably at this point in time close to 500,000 people. So what your guys' job is to do is to work within your group to make sure these things never happen unless, of course, the people want it to happen to them, because some people just don't actually want to be part of it. So you let the people go that want to go. You work for the people that want to stay. So this is this section. If somebody in your group remains inactive for 2 months, they're going to be removed from the 3x10 matrix. It's not a whole death blow at that point, because if they become active in the future, they're still going to keep the people that they have personally sponsored. Plus, they're going to keep all the matching bonuses on the volume of the people that they've personally sponsored. The only thing is they're going to be below the people that they've personally sponsored. The slide says bottoms up. So, okay, now if you're inactive for 4 months, you guys want to make sure that you have done your job. When you get to know me on the long haul and we hang out for a long time, you'll know that I'm a person that really takes responsibility. If I sponsor somebody, if you sponsor somebody, and it's your credibility and it's your excitement, and you've actually gotten somebody in, you have a fiduciary responsibility to actually help that person any way you possibly can. So if you have people in your organization that you personally sponsored that have remained inactive for 4 months, I'm really hoping it's because they wanted to do that, not because you didn't reach out and you didn't contact them and tell them what's going on. Guys, there's people that have gotten in June. They're in your database. They probably have 500. Some could even have 5,000 people underneath them, and they haven't even looked into their back office. So just take the charge tonight. Don't let it be you that doesn't tell them. If you remain inactive for 4 months or more, you're actually going to lose the personally sponsored people that you had. The company has a fiduciary responsibility, guys, to actually make sure the people that person sponsored have a sponsor. You know, you can imagine that when somebody brings in 10 people and then they go haywire, you know, they don't answer their phone anymore, they don't respond to their emails, their Skype says, don't bother me, you know, that their people are still interested in building Global One, but they're kind of an orphan. Well, the company has the fiduciary responsibility to actually assign them to a leader that is actually building the business. So after 4 months, you lose your personally sponsored people. And then after 6 months, of course, this is sometimes good news in the industry because sometimes we get into a business. I'm talking to major leaders on the phone. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you get into a business, you just don't like the situation where you are. And so you've got other things going, you've got other income going, and you're willing to set it out, and you realize that this business is a huge, huge, huge opportunity. And so you sit it out, and you come back in at the 6-month level. Okay, that's what this is for, but also you have to cut it off someplace, guys. So when a person has been inactive for 6 months, it will be as though they've just never been in the business, and so they'll be able to come back anytime that they want. And so when you're looking, I'm going to go back to the first slide to close this. What do you need to know? But more importantly, what should you do now? You've got a choice, really, and this is what I'm going to leave you with. Anytime there's a company delay, I told you my story. I had a choice. I could have just kind of hung out at the office, if you know what I mean. It didn't cost me anything, but you have a choice. You're either going to go positive or you're going to go negative. You're either going to keep moving forward or you're going to stall out and start moving backwards. See, there is no tread in water in a network marketing business. You're either going forward or you're going backwards. My hope for you is this. You stay the course. It doesn't cost you anything. You know, it's not like any one of us has made any real major, huge investment. You know, I know for some people $10 is more, $10 is less, but guys, we've been in this business. We know people have invested $500, $5,000, $10,000. We can stay the course. Stay the course, I'm asking you. And from my background, I'm encouraging, please don't do what I did. Don't cop an attitude. Don't look at this thing and say, oh, this thing is never going to work. You've heard Scotty. He said we're 650 on the Alexa rating. He said that we're going to be launching with groundbreaking products. He said that he's already searched the database, and they're huge, huge, huge checks. Guys, from the amount of members that have joined, there has to be huge checks. Don't let it be you that quits. I mean, please don't let it be you that quits. So, guys, what do you need to know? More importantly, what should you do now? Stay the course, teach and train your team, and be optimistic. If you don't have something good to say, guys, don't pick up the phone, don't send an email, don't send a Skype. Just sit there in your own miserable self, talk to yourself, and then wake up happy the next day and start working with your team. JP, back to you.
Kathy, thank you. And thank you, Scotty, for taking time out of your day. Folks, many of you that don't know Scotty Evans aren't really familiar enough with the type of schedule that he maintains for the benefit of each and every one of us. Kathy also works relentlessly on seeing that the information flow is pristine. You have the information now. We are, in fact, that close. So, with that being said, the only reminder I can share with you is that it's your attitude that'll take you to the altitude that you choose to fly. Reach out and touch someone with this opportunity while you have the opportunity, because when it opens, there's no looking back. You've got an open window and a very brief period of time before we open the doors for masses. Enjoy what you have in front of you. We will be back again Thursday evening at 5:30 Pacific time. There will be a replay link available for those of you that have called in from a landline or cell phone. For those of you that are on the line and you know that part of your downline may not have had that opportunity to jump in on this call, remind them there is a replay link available for them. Encourage them to listen to the update of exactly where we are. Time is of the essence. Ladies and gentlemen, this is JP, along with Scotty and Kathy. Thank you for joining us and taking time out of your busy schedule tonight. We'll see you Thursday evening, 5:30 Pacific. Have a great evening.